This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. So I guess we can get started with our today's session. Let me first share my screen. Can someone just confirm if you are able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that confirmation.
Yes, you can
Okay.
see.
So yesterday we have gone through our TOSCA thing. So we have seen why some of the basic things like what is software testing, why we need this, and what is manual testing, automation testing, difference between that. And then we have also seen how TOSCA is used, like how it is useful, and we have seen the benefits of those over other tools as well. So today, quickly, just not wasting the time, and then I'll quickly jump into the usage of this TOSCA. So I'll show you. I'll take one example of an application and we'll try to perform the manual automation first, a manual test case, and then automate the same flow, manual flow. So just to start with that, let me just I'll just wait for a couple of more minutes before I start today's topic. But then if anyone from the team wants to ask any doubts, anything, any questions on yesterday's part, or today they would want to ask any other things, any doubts.
Hi,
Yes, hi
hi,
Priyanka.
hi. Yesterday I didn't able to join. Today is my first class, so I don't know. Can you please give little bit introduction about Tosca? So I'll catch up.
Sure, sure,
For
okay.
today.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Priyanka. So, having said that, we have also recorded our yesterday's session. So, you could also find the recordings on YouTube, which we have shared in the a group. But then, yeah, I'll just give a quick short walkthrough of what we have did yesterday. So, if you would say about this testing, so why we use software testing and where it is necessary, and manual testing. So, if you would before I start, can you quickly let me know your background, like what is basically where are you from, and then what is your base location, what is your background experience, and reason for you choosing this TOSCA?
Actually, I live in USA and I
Mm,
was actually working in India for 1 year in manual testing. Then then after that we moved to USA. Then after that I don't have work permit. So now I got my work permit. So I saw like in the website that Tosca is in market for the job.
correct.
So now I'm starting from the beginning, like starting from the scratch now.
It's
So
your personal interest and you want to upskill yourself in TOSCA, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay, thank you for that introduction, Priyanka. So yeah, uh, so since you know about manual testing, what we do it, and then automation testing. So manual, wherein we manually try to perform the functionality or the application, whatever under test we have, that manually we will just say, if it is a web-based application, we will manually open a browser, and then after opening a browser, we will try to uh, open that application, manually launch that, and then if it's a login, we would click on login, and then we will perform all these actions. So whatever data entering and then clicking on login, so all these actions whatever we perform, that as a manual thing, we are doing it. So same way automation in that case would be just we don't have to do every time all this launching of the browser or launching of the URL, and then clicking this particular link button, and then entering some details. So all those things uh, through a robot, through some tools that are available in market, we would be automating it. So that's what automation is. And why Tosca, if you would say, well, whereas if you would compare it with any other tools, so Tosca offers wide range of what do you say, whatever applications you would have in your uh, system, in your project, in your company. So be it web based application or API or database, any UI testing, so all those things end to end, Tosca does offers us to automate the application. So risk is
Can I ask
optimized
you a question here?
yes, sure.
Sorry to interrupt you in between. We can use Selenium for the automation testing, right? So why Tosca? Means like what is the
Correct.
more like we can do in Tosca rather than Selenium?
Right. So those things, yes, I would let you know. So here we have also discussed in yesterday's session. So if you are more briefly wanting to know about that, I would highly recommend you watch our yesterday's recorded session where I've clearly explained. So
Sure.
why we have to choose Tosca on Selenium. So Selenium, if you would see, if one wants to automate, so any web-based application is what one can able to automate with Selenium. But what if the application, whatever we want to test, it's not web, if it is API, if it is database, or if it is any desktop-based application. So all those things, if you have to do it, Selenium, you cannot achieve it. And
Yeah,
also, if
got it.
once a user, whoever wants to automate using Selenium, they need to have some programming background, programming knowledge, right? Like Java, C Sharp, all other
Yeah.
things. But for Tosca, if you see on the other hand, apart from automating wide ranges of application, it would also be like no coding, almost no scripting is like no scripting needed in this. Without we'll just use some drag and drop functionalities kind of thing within this Tosca, and then we'll be able to automate any given websites, any given automation. So whatever we want to automate it, we will be able to do it easily. When it is compared with Selenium, you would have to have some programming knowledge, right, to automate any page, any screens, any websites. So that's the more advantage. Yeah, the other thing, if you would see, it is Tosca, it is a paid tool, and then Selenium would be a free tool. But having said, even if it is paid, so I've also given one example yesterday wherein I've said, okay, if companies wants to automate any application, whatever they have, application under test, so with 10 resource, if they want to do it within 1 year, they'll hire 10 resources and they'll try to perform the automation. So same amount of work, if companies doesn't prefer Selenium, and then if they would go for Tosca, they would hardly invest in paying the tool, like 2 to 3 tools, license tools is what they would licenses they would purchase, and then 3 resource hardly they can hire from the market, and then do the same amount of work with lesser number of resources. So that is possible, where even companies are seeing those benefits, advantages. And nowadays, even market, if you see it, most of the companies are using this Tosca tool on that part. So yeah, this is brief about it, and then any other details if you would want, you can go through our website as well. So this is our website where you can find some curriculum, some details, whatever we would be going through in our training sessions, and also what majorly we would be focusing on. So we would be doing this Tosca product consultant certification as well as part of our training. So with this, like, we also have multiple batches. So it starts with AS1, AS2, AE1, AE2, so TDS1 and TDS2 and all this. So this in our training is what I'm going to take care of, and you would be able to get your TOSCA certification, where this certificate would be valid, and you can showcase, add it to your resume, and then you would get some added advantage onto when you try to find some jobs on TOSCA. So you can show some benefits on having certifications thing. So yeah, it is like 35 hours of live training with some recorded, all recorded videos is what you would have, lifetime access, and then course completion certificate also you would get it. So I'll just not go too much deep again in this, so you can go through our website, or also recorded video is what you would be able to find it in case if you want to know any further details. And apart from that, if you would have any questions further, then yeah, in the next session, once we connect it, I'll try to even solve those doubts, questions, whatever you would have.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
right. Now, so today, yeah, quickly we'll try to, yeah, same steps. So manual test case, as I said, right? Manual testing. So what we will do, we'll just launch the browser, come to the application, click login, and then enter all this login details, right? So this thing, if you have to do, so from Tosca, if you see, you would also be having that. So manual testing we can do. We can also record and play back. All this in detail, we would go into our next sessions, but for now I'll just quickly show you how easy it is to use, and then yeah, probably you would have some more idea on those things. So what I will do is I'll open open Tosca and then just click on this manual test case option that I have within our Tosca commander. So installation and all those things, as I said, I will take care of that in our further sessions. But this, I want to quickly show you what Tosca, whatever the benefits or the features we have in Tosca. I'll show you in this quick demo. So let this load. Uh, get load applications. We would give select all and say okay.
Your
I'll
voice
just
is not audible. It is breaking. Like,
okay, is it fine now?
yeah, it's
Is it
better.
okay? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So uh, so what manual steps we will do? So we'll just say we have opened the browser, a tab, and then we'll open up an application. We'll try to load an application, and once we load an application, let's say what actions we want to perform. I would want to click on login, and then after login, let's say I would give some email ID
Sorry, your voice is breaking. Yeah, is it breaking for me only or is it breaking for everyone?
No, it is breaking for me also.
Yeah, for me as well.
okay, just let me check. Just one second. Uh,
This conference call now.
Nandini, can you go on mute? Sorry. Guys, can anyone confirm if you are able to hear me and see my screen without any issues?
Yeah, yeah, Pawan.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. So I'll just restart this thing again. Wait. I'll just close it. No. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just click on this manual test case on our Tosca commander, and Tosca takes time to load what all applications it has, and then we can just say select all, start. And now here recording is in progress. So whatever actions we would now do it, Tosca would capture. So if you just see, I would just click on this. I would try to launch a demo web shop application, and then this launch I have launched the application, and then what are the next steps we want to do? We'll just try to interact normally. So we'll just click on login button, login link that we have, and then here we will just enter some values, some dummy values. Let's say we'll enter email, and we will enter some password, and I will click on remember me, or I'll just uncheck it and then just say login. And after clicking on login, I'll get this verification message. So I'll just say mouse over, and then that's it. Nothing much. I would just want to stop it now. So what Tosca would do when we say manual testing, so whatever steps we have now performed, right, whatever steps we have performed in our browser by opening a new tab and all these things, so Tosca within this manual test case window, manager, whatever it launches, so you would be able to see all the step by step with proper screenshots. So here if you see, we first clicked on this particular thing. So basically what we are trying to do, we are launching, so we can rename the steps as well here. So launching, let's say, so our first step is this, we are clicking here and then we are launching it. And then the next step, what are we doing? We are clicking on login link, right? You can see in the screenshots as well. So you can rename, your second step would be to click on login link. So all those steps and whatever so here the next step would be to click on email ID field, right? The next is to enter email. So let's say I don't want to click, I directly want to enter. You can even write this, keep it based on your requirement, or let's say okay, here we'll say click on email text box, right? That is our third step that we have performed. And then what is our fourth step we have did? We have entered email, right? So entered email ID. So we have entered the fourth step, we have just entered the email ID. And the fifth step, if you would see here, what we did, we clicked on password field, right? So same thing, click on password text box. So we just clicked in our fifth step, we clicked on password field. The sixth step, what did we do? We just enter password. So we have entered password, right? So we'll write that step, we'll rename it. And other than that, what did we do? So here we tried to click on remember me, but then I said okay, let's not do it. Then I just delete the steps, specific step screenshots that I don't want to capture. I can even select the step and then delete on it. And then what I'm doing here, I'm clicking on login button. So click on login button to submit basically, right? So to submit the login credentials, we clicked on this login button. So that we will write it. And then after so we have got some verification message. So we see that verify some message and all, we can do it. And then I'll just remove it for now, just easy for easier understanding purpose. I'll just keep simple steps here. So I'll remove the unnecessary steps that I don't want. And then here, what is our test case, manual test case name? So our manual test case name would be uh, login functionality check on demo web shop, right? So demo web shop. So those kind of detail for our test case is what we have written. And now we have got all the steps here, right? And here, what do you have? So apart from capturing detailed screenshots with this action methods, we would also be able to generate the documents now. So evidence purpose, we keep it, right? So we have something called here export option. So you would just click on export option, and then whatever screenshots that you have, the steps, whether you want to export it in Word document format or in PDF. So based on your requirement, you can take it. And then file name, so I'll say this is my the same test case name I'll keep. So login to demo web shop. So that is my name, is what I would want to give. I will take the default one for now. Later in detail, I will explain you what all things we would have it here and what we have to take it. So I'll just click on export option and then PDF. So where do you want to store? So let's say I would want to store this in my PC, and then I'll take some location here. I'll take here so onto this location, yes, I'll just add it. So once I click and add onto that, so a folder is being created, right? So you would see a folder would be getting created and a PDF is generated from our Tosca site. So if you see this PDF, open this PDF here now. And with this PDF, what all details you would be able to see now, same steps what we did manually in Tosca. So you would get some proper documentation kind of thing. So here if you see test case name, what is your test case name? The test case documentation, whatever you have, it is the test case name is date this. And then we have this summary, this all details is what you are able to see it with some screenshots. So summary, when we did created this one, who has created, what is the result, pass, failed, what, how much time, total duration we had taken to execute this manual test case. Everything would be captured by Tosca. So number of steps it has, all these things. And then test case description. So here you are able to see test case description with step 1 being launching a demo app, step 2 being click on login link, step 3 being email text box, step 4 email ID enter. So what value we have entered, we are also it is Tosca is also capturing that and it is showing here, right? So you have clear picture. And then the next part, screenshots, each steps that whatever we have did, with proper screenshots Tosca has captured. So if you see this, click on login link. So it is clicking here. Login link is here. It is showing and then highlighting here. And then click on text box field. It is clicking here and then entering data. So enter email ID. So you could write, customize the steps based on your requirement. You could do it. And you see how quickly we were able to generate this document, and at the end system information on what system we had executed this, everything would be shown here. So basically recorded application, it was on Google is what it would show. So this is what a manual test case, manual thing in your from Tosca is what you should be able to get it. And now the other part, so you can even save this test case, and then let's say if you want to save and then work on the other functionality, and the other functionality could be like registration. So click on registration, come to application, launch application, click on register link, and then enter all this registration details. So save that kind of document as well for your manual testing, that you can do it. But then I'll just click on save and close. So as soon as I click on that save and close, Tosca creates all this. What is this folders and all in detail I will explain you later, but for your references, you see a test case has been created and all this manual test cases with proper steps. So you see all the test steps has been created here. So you can see all the steps now, and then in details about those thing, what has happened, what we had did inside that. Click on edit email text box and then entering. So type abc dot this email in the email text edit box field. So we have clear details of what exactly this manual test case has to do. Now where or how this is used in real time as well is, we being an automation tester, so what we would be given with this document. So they will give us this document wherein there is, okay, you have to automate the functionality, login functionality, and the steps to automate the login functionality are shown in the screenshots. So follow the screenshots with step by step thing and automate same thing in your Tosca. That is what you would get the requirement, and now you should just see the steps step by step, and in your Tosca automation you can directly write whatever manual step you have did for that. Automation wise, how you can do it is what we will try to do it in later sessions. And then with this you would be able to complete that testing of that particular functionality. So if it is, if it was login with manual testing is what you have did with proper documentation, it is done. And then same testing in automation also, we could just create some test cases and then we could do it. So this is how I said how it is easy to use. So I'll show you one more thing. So with from this Tosca, so if you see, let's say I'll just close this. And now, so for automation, what we don't want to manually open the browser, manually launch this and then click login button, enter email, enter password, those things manually we don't want to do, right? So that thing, if you want to do it through automation, so quick way, in Tosca we have something called automated recording. So we can record this automated flow. So we'll just click this record option. Say I'll show you how this recording feature works in Tosca. So click on this recording feature, it loads, and then let it get load. So we will get some option, just like initially it takes a while to load, and then browser extension is, yeah, so it is basically we have not installed uh, any Tosca extension. So before that I'll just stop it. And then to interact with your Tosca, so Tosca with any application, and then with on the browser, so first thing is we would need some browser extension. So Tosca browser extension is what we would need it for Tosca to work on this. So what we will do, or how we can get it, I'll quickly do it here, but then later I'll show you uh, properly. So if I want to get the browser extension, I'll just try to do this part manually. Also you can just go there and install the browser Tosca extension, but then I will take this automated way. Directly I'll just select an application, and when I do scan, use this module scan, don't worry about what it is. As I said, step by step I will explain you in detail. But for now our intention is, so whatever manual thing we have did it, the same flow we just want to quickly automate it. So how we can do that is what we will show you. So if you see here, we have got this option, browser extension not installed or outdated. I'll just say yes with this thing. A browser extension option is what we will get it here. So Tricentis Tosca extension for Chrome is what it will show us, and then we'll just say add to Chrome. So here on the browser extension, this Tosca extension should be added. So here it is downloading, it will install, and then on the browser itself we will have the Tosca extension. So this in an interview they would ask it, so if you want to interact on the browser with Tosca, can we directly do it or we have to do some setup? So basically yes, we would have to add some Tosca extension. And then just now we have seen here, so Tosca extension has been downloaded and we are now able to uh, proceed. So I'll just close this, I don't want to do this part. So again, let's record. So automated recording flow is what we want to see, right? So I'll go to Tosca commander and then I'll use this recording feature. So only one X scan, okay, multiple thing might be running in the background. So I'll just click on this. Where is it? I'll click here and then take the recording agent is starting. Only one xscan instance is allowed to be running at a time. If you need to open other instance already, so okay, so basically this is nowhere installing. So meanwhile I just sort this issue. Anyone wants to ask any doubts, anything, anyone, questions, any questions?
Yeah, hello trainer. Just like to know how does the TOSCA works? Generally, most of the Selenium or other automation tools, they establish the connections between server and request, right?
uh,
And it performs the action as we send the request. So how does it work, TOSCA?
no, sorry Amit, I didn't get your question.
So how does the TOSCA works? That's I want to understand.
How Tosca works, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So as we said here, so what we will be doing is we would be uh, so when you say how Tosca works, what exactly you want to understand?
I mean, I want to understand like we are doing some action on the browser, right? I mean, identifying, scanning the elements and doing some actions and it is doing. So how does it work? Like, are we sending some requests? I mean, how does it work in the background?
Code, right? But here, if you just want to automate, let's say, so even this recording feature, let's say if it is not working, I would have shown you how Tosca would work. Yeah, I'm getting this application option now. Yeah. So you see, okay, we have got recording feature here, and now quickly we'll try to record one scenario. So I'll just click on this a demo web shop, the same manual flow. Now we will try to record it. So r- resume this, and then we have this, and then I'll click on login. Same manual thing what you did. I'll just replicate or record this in the automation flow. So I'll just give some dummy email value here and then give some password here, and then after I will click on login, and once I click on login I would get some error message, right? Let me just it's loading here. Yeah, I've got this error message. I'll just validate this part and then just say okay. So that's it, and then I'll just I'll just stop the recording now. If you would see in your uh, Tosca recorded things, so we got some recordings here, right? So here we have got the recorded things, and then recorded option, if you would see what exactly actions we have performed, Tosca has automatically captured all those steps in this recorded thing. So open URL, if you would see, okay, we use this open URL, and then there is this application that has taken place, and then after that it is what X, meaning click on login, and then what this code, about this code, if I just show you now, it would be a bit confusing to you, but let's say some whatever we have did now, exactly same recorded thing, if we just want to uh, execute, so just right click on that and then click on run option. So once you click on that, whatever manually we recorded, I am now away from the mouse, and if you would see the same steps, whatever has been recorded, Tosca on run option, the recorded steps would automatically be getting triggered, and all the steps written inside that would be executing, which means opening of an application and clicking on login link and then entering email, entering password. So with just record feature of Tosca, we are able to even achieve the automation of that particular page within what, hardly a minute or two it has taken us for to record that functionality, right? So here I think we are getting some problem or issue that we would be going to debug it as part of our test cases. So we'll see if some failure occurs, so what we will be doing it. So uh, so connection to the application under this may have lost all these issues. Yes, we whatever we would get it, we will try to resolve it in our step by step guide. But then so same thing, what we would do, we will just run it, and whatever steps we have recorded, that through an automation is what it will be performing. Now let's say if we are not using the recorded feature, and then manually, let's say if I have to write it, so what I would have done. So to do that, what we can do is, so go to your test case. I'll quickly automate it, and any doubts, anything which is quite technical, don't worry. I will explain this in detail to you. So if I just want to automate the same test case flow, so we have the steps, right? Manual test steps. We know we have all this. So launching of application is our first step till other things. So same steps, you just remember these things, what steps we have, and then same steps in our automation is what I will try to show you. So I'll create one test case, test login demo web shop. Okay, so this is our test case, let's say, and if I want to automate it, so first step, to open a browser, we will use a module called open URL, and then that open URL module is what I will have it, and in this open URL I'll give the value of what application I want to launch, that I will give. And after launching, what this particular step would do is it would open this browser, and then after I want to uh, hit or click this login link, and then enter this email password things, right? So I will quickly uh, demo web shop, right? So this part I'll just quickly mm, make Tosca interact with the application under test. So to tell Tosca that we want to interact with this particular application, we have to go to modules and then right click scan option is what we would have to use it. And we would select the application that we have automated. So once we select this application, so Tosca in the background it does something and get the properties of the elements. So what I'll do is quickly I'll just click this, and then okay, I'll say I would want to interact with login button, so I will select mouse click, go there, select login, and after login I want to click on email ID field and enter value into this, and then I would want to interact with password field, so I will select this password text box, and then after I will click on login button, so I'll click on this, and that's it. So this steps is what I would need from this page, so I will take it. And what all properties are there, how we can take all those things, don't worry for now. You can just see this part initially, and then each of these details in my training I would explain you. So I'll just say close this, and now come to your test case wherever you need it. So my next step would be to use this. I'll click this, drag and drop onto my test case. So my first step would be to launch launch demo web shop, right? on browser, and then after I would click the login link, right? So I'll use this click option and I'll say click on login link, which is on the top menu, right? So that top menu option, all that details, descriptive way, exactly as your manual test step does. So we can even write the same manual, copy paste. So click on login link is what we have it. So same, our second step should be click on login. If we want it, I'll just copy paste it, right? Then what is our third step? So first step is done, second step is done. So third step, click on email text box. So you want to click on email text box. So to click on email text box, we will use this. And then where is our email? This is our email text box, and if we want to click it, we will use option called click. And then the third step, write the same step what you have. So what are we doing? We are clicking on login email text box field. So I will rename it to as per our manual step. So it is done. Then fourth step is to enter email ID. So to the same part, so we will now enter email ID. Then email ID field is here, and then you would want to enter. So what exactly value you want to enter? You can enter any value, but then here, let's say for the same sake of example, I'll take this same thing. So we are typing abc@gmail.email.com, right? In the email field, same thing through our automation script as well, I will do it. So to my email text box field, in the value section, I want to add this value, is what I will write it. And then after, what is our next step? Clicking on password text box field, right? So go to your test case, drag and drop this particular module, and then we have a field called this field, and then here we want to click this thing, right? What is the step? So click, and then I will rename this as click. And before this, what are we doing? We are entering email, right? That step I didn't renamed it. So enter email ID. So I will write this, and this is what you will have: enter email ID. We have enter password. So here click password. So password field is this, and I want to click. So I will say click here. Next, what is after clicking on password? You want to enter password, right? So enter password is what you have next step. So I will go, I'll create one new step, and that step would be to enter password. So how we can enter password? Go to your password field, and in the value section, in this value section here, you have to enter the value. You would just enter the value, whatever you want to do it. So that value we would enter it. And then what is the next step? So we have click on login button, login link, which is submit thing, right? So we'll drag and drop that into our test case, and at the end, in the login button thing, we will enter, sorry, this is our step name. So my step name is this, and then I want to click on this, so I would use click, or X as well, I can use it. So now if you would see your test case, so what your test case looks like. So you have created, basically this is your automation test case, your TOSCA automated test case, where you have testing this particular functionality, and the steps are launching of demo, click on login, click on email text box, enter email ID, password, same things exactly what your manual test case was saying. Whatever manually you tested in the application, same steps through automation, through TOSCA test case, is what we have created it. And now if we want to see the execution part, so what is the outcome or expected thing from this particular test case? What it should do? When we execute it, it should open the browser, it should perform all the steps or actions that we have said it in our test case. So we will select the test case, right click, and then click on this run scratch thing. So let me just close the browser that was there, and then if you would see that now I'm away from the mouse. So if you see, TOSCA has automatically opened the browser, and demo web shop it has launched. And now the after launching, what is our next test case? It should do, it should try to click on login. See, mouse is going there and it is clicking, and after that it should go to click email field, it is clicking, and then ABC it has entered, password field click, entered, login, green, everything is done, processing result, green, success message. Whatever steps you have asked to do, TOSCA has performed all those things here. Now TOSCA would process some execution results, and then in a while you would be able to see the results of this. So if you see, we have got this scratch book, this logs, and then logs everything are green in color, in the sense everything is passed now, and you can see the details as well. So click on login link is what we have did. Click on email text box, enter email ID, we have did enter password, all the steps whatever you wanted to do. Tosca has did. So how much time it has taken, when did it started, what is the total duration it has taken. So all these details Tosca would automatically give you. You don't have to worry about these things. So now with hardly in 5 to 10 minutes we were able to automate a functionality of an application. So if you see what I did, I've just scanned modules. What is this module, what is a test case, how we can create, what steps we have to take, that in clear so with our upcoming sessions I would explain each of these details clearly to you, so that you would be able to even understand. And then now we were able to automate and achieve this functionality whatever we wanted to test it. So this is how it is easy to use, an easy UI tool, and then we can just drag and drop and then enter values in the value section and then use it. If you want to click, we'll say click. If you want to enter some value, we'll say enter value. So this is that easy. So nowhere we have just automated our page, and we have not even written a single line of code. Do you guys see anywhere we have written any line of code? Anyone? So have you seen anywhere I have written any code while automating this functionality? No, right? Yeah. So this is about automating. Yeah.
No
Let
problem. Pawan, one
questions.
second. One doubt.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Actually, the audio is okay, but the visual is little bit slow for me.
It was like, yeah, today I see there is some network issue, but then tomorrow I'll make sure we don't have this network issue from my end.
Yeah. Due to that, it is like little bit confusing for me. I don't know what
Hmm.
others, but
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it is. There is some lag between video and audio.
Yeah, lagging because of network, I guess today. Yeah, I'll check that network issue from my network provider and make sure I don't have that issue tomorrow.
okay,
Other
Pawan,
than,
this one small doubt.
yes.
You said in the manual test case, once the manual test case that is done, so the
Hmm.
screenshots are coming, right?
Yes, you see the
So if I
screenshots.
don't, if I don't want the screenshots, then is there any option for that also? Only I want only steps, not screenshots.
Right. So you don't have to save the document basically when you once you are creating a manual test case, right? How would you create? You click on this manual test case and then manually you would launch this browser, go there, click, select all these things, whatever actions you would want to perform, you will perform. And then on the window, you exported a document, right, with screenshot. But then you don't export any document if you don't want it, and normally save it, and then Tosca would create one component folder here, test cases, and then that test case, a manual test case that we have created, and the steps here. So nowhere there is screenshots here, right? So you can refer this test
Yeah,
case
yeah. Okay, okay.
within Tosca. Yeah.
Hi, Srikanth here.
Yes,
So,
Shrikant.
as maybe it's a very early question, but while giving user ID password, we are giving user ID password manually in Tosca. But if
Yes.
there is any, can we give global variables like every time no need to give
Yes.
a
Yes.
user ID and
All those.
password?
Yes.
And
So as I said, my training here, I would be.
okay. And one more thing is, can we use multiple users and passwords at a time to run the application?
To run the
Like
application.
two users and two passwords, and I want to run the same application, same test case.
Same test case with two different data
Yeah.
sets basically.
Let's say there are two clients,
Hmm.
uh, one user one and user two, and
Okay.
the application should run with user one and user two at a time parallelly.
Parallel. Yes.
Yeah, because it comes with the performance of the application, performance about the application.
Right, right. So yeah, all those things with Tosca is we would be able to achieve it. So we have some a concept called DEX. So multiple
Okay.
executions parallelly, all those things we can configure it, and we can able to execute such scenarios, such exception scenarios where we would have it. So all those things, yes, we would be able to do it from Tosca with the help of DEX concept. Yeah.
Okay. One more final question. So Tosca have a ability to test the graphs and the color of that particular graph and the values of that particular graphs. Like Sankey charts, we have a different type of charts.
Mm-hmm.
So is that Tosca have a ability to automate that charts also?
Okay. So to answer your question, uh, to an extent, yes, we can do it, but then in real time scenarios, if you see, so out of 100%, not like all that 100% automation would be possible, right? Even testing, when you consider, so 100% of the testing cannot be achieved or done, right? Even if
Okay.
it is, so some scenarios even in real time we would have it, and then we would see if it is really feasible to do that automation, if it is really required or not, is what we would see. And few cases, few scenarios, it would be there where uh, automation, any sort
Mhm.
of automation is not possible, and
Okay.
reason behind that scenario would be they people whoever has developed that, the intention behind them was not to automate the application, so that is why they would do something
Okay.
in the application, right? So that is why on such notes, such scenarios, uh,
Okay.
automation won't be possible. But to your particular specific scenarios or functionality, so we
Mm.
can still, yeah, see that part, and then Tosca can somehow get some properties, and then properties in the sense of if it is a graph, and in the graph if there are colors, so colors whatever are displayed in the application, in the background it would be like some bg background, some colors, some numeric, some specifications would be mentioned, right? That thing
Okay.
Tosca can still capture, and then we can validate whether this particular background has this value or not. All those things, yes, we can still do it, but recommended thing would be like not to automate such scenarios.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions from any other one?
Trainer, I
Yes, Sam.
understand today was just a overview how we perform testing using Tosca.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to get clarification. You just said there is a DEX, right? You were saying DEX, right?
Right.
And in DEX we do a little bit parallel execution of the scripts that we write it here. I mean,
Correct.
say how about the neo load, right? There will be neo load, right? And
Neoload.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that really simulate the concurrent user, right?
Correct.
So how it is different from, I mean, creating a multiple agents. I understand multiple agents, there are some limitations. Um,
Right.
but neo where we can create like thousands of virtual user and doing the
Mm-hmm.
tasks simultaneously. So
Correct.
how it is different, like I want to understand.
So now if you see Neoload, with Neoload, what sort of users you would be opening? So it is kind of a virtual users where even if it is application, so not manually launching all the application browser, opening browsers and then performing actions on the UI. It is basically through Neoload we would be executing the API call basically, right? So the APIs would be executing on that part. So now nowhere it is like if through neoload, if 1,000 users, concurrent users you have said, on 1,000 machines at a time, it would launch browser and perform the UI actions in that. So it won't be happening in real time, it would be just basically sending the API calls uh, for different users. We would be just sending this particular thing. So this, with Tosca, whatever we were trying to achieve now, it is a UI testing. So from UI opening manually a browser and then doing, so whatever user interaction, how your user would do it, so that sort of testing, if you wanted to see it through Tosca, we were able to do it this way. And now concurrently, performance wise, if you wanted to test performance, so there you wouldn't be using your normal browsers concurrently launching and then doing it. For that we would have APIs, and then we would automate, basically call the APIs in the background with multiple number of users, and then we will see how the system is behaving when there are 100 users, when there are 1000 users, when there are 10,000 users concurrently to our application, how it is behaving, where somewhere it is breaking or what is happening. So all that things, if we wanted to see, we won't be doing UI automation for that. We would be doing some API, some backend testing kind of things.
Yeah. Thank you. And
So I
then,
hope I have answered your question.
yeah, you did really well. Another question is, does this Tosca have the weight mechanism, or it just first the element is visible and then it does the actions?
Yeah, wait, in the sense, now here synchronization thing, yes, we will have it. All those things I will explain you in detail. Yes, but we have all those things, and a dynamic weights is what we would keep it, and based on that we will handle our scenarios.
Yeah, great. And then how about, sorry, this is the last question. How about we do some page object model in
Right.
Java, Selenium, or Playwright, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do we
Mm-hmm.
have similar concept here, or we just have like model concept where we just quest all the data and we do the
Right.
testing? I mean, we
Right.
repeat the, just use the component from there.
Right. So if you see now, compare your page object model and the object repository OR that we have in Selenium or any other automation tool. So concept behind that is we would store element at one particular place, and then that element references is what we would be using in our test cases. So to handle that sort of thing or scenarios, we have similar one, which is modules here. And modules, we would be storing the elements that we want to interact with, and then we would be taking it in our test cases. We'll just take the reference of this, and then this particular test cases would refer to the module that is already there and the elements that are scanned. So yeah, we don't have to worry about any other concepts or even creating some sort of frameworks. So framework in Tosca, if you would see in that case, here it is just you would have to arrange the foldering structure is what you would have it. So what or how test cases you would create. So if you have this particular test case, so I would say, okay, this particular test case is related to login, so I would create a folder called login, and any login related test cases I would just store and keep it in this particular folder. So likewise, login, you would also have some registration test case, you would also have some other module related test cases, so that you would segregate it, keep foldering structure in an organized way, and then you would be doing it. So same foldering structure, you would follow it for your modules, you would follow it for execution, any other things. So only thing, framework, when you see from other tools, here we just have to arrange the foldering structure, that's it. Why we would arrange
Yeah,
this in a foldering structure? Because for later maintenance purpose, or if someone wants to refer, see a particular test case or a scenario, so they would they should be able to navigate to that particular part very easily.
yep. Thank you.
Right, any other questions from anyone?
Yeah,
Pawan, like what I understood is in the automated test case, we have to check whether the Tosca is interacting with the web page, right? And
Yes.
once it is started interacting, so when we start automating the web page, so
Hmm.
those steps are stored in the modules, right?
Correct. So modules are basically the properties that we store. So we have all the properties here, whatever properties we want to interact with, basically we would consider, we would tell Tosca, okay, we want to interact with this particular elements, so consider that. So we will select those things, and then once we have it, that as a module is what we create in Tosca.
So once those elements are stored in the modules, so then
Hmm.
what you did is when we did the manual test case, we got some steps, right? So those
Yes.
steps you copy pasted into those elements, right?
No, so what I did is I tried to create, now replicate the scenario. So I have all together, I was creating a new test case. So I was just creating some test cases here, test case 1, 2, 3, so on. And what is my test case should do now? you should be clear with what your test case should do. Now your test case should first launch the browser, open the application. So if you want to launch the browser and open the application that we wanted to test, then for that we have some module something. So that is where I've shown you how it is easy to use. But if you would again be here in my session for a couple of other classes, then you will be able to understand these things in step by step process. So how we can install Tosca, license, configure it, and then what is a workspace, how we create it, and then what are these folders, and when I create a module, what is module, what module is, what are the elements that we have, why we need to take that elements, and what properties we would take it, what is a test case, what would be the steps, what steps to take in, all that thing in a step by step process is what I would tell you. So now it would be a very quick thing, or too much things, too much stuff for you if I just have to tell you. But then here test case would have normally steps. So let's say your test case has 10 steps, so even your automation test case should have 10 steps. Now out of that 10 steps, what is your first case should do? Your first test step should do opening of a browser with launching any URL. So that in automation how we can do. So we have some modules already, we will take it, and then that as a step is what we would refer it, and we would script it. So we are basically we are scripting it but without coding.
Okay. Yeah, Bob, thanks. One more doubt is, can we automate dynamic drop downs or dynamic text boxes? Like in Swiggy, if we enter BIR in the text box, we'll get some lot of types of biryanis, right? So
Right.
one particular thing we have to select. Can we automate those kind of things?
Yes, everything. So normal automation, if you would see whatever you would have with, especially with Selenium, if you are comparing it, or you have already, you were already familiar with that, and then on to that context, if the same things are we able to do it from Tosca is what if your question is, then yes, everything, whatever you were able to automate it, the same thing from Tosca as well. Almost maximum of those things, everything, I would say almost of that would be able to automate.
Okay, Bob. Thank you.
I think there is a wildcard concept here as well in Tosca that really handles the dynamic environment.
Correct, dynamic. Yeah. Right. Any other questions from anyone? So tomorrow, what we would be doing is, you would, I'll show you. So we'll just register to this particular things, and we'll consider a few more scenarios. And then, as I said, we will install Tosca, and then we'll proceed with the initial from scratch, how we do it, all those things in our later sessions is what I would be explaining it. So yeah, if no further question, guys, then we are good to close our today's session. So day one. Yeah. Okay then. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.